I think it's still going to be dangerous. I'm actually quite worried because they're undefeated, beating a few undefeated guys. So a lot of people can look at someone who's got 1,000 followers and think that's an easy fight, but this is world level boxing. You don't become mandatory.
They sparred. Lawrence Okolie recently posted up this photo.
Breaking! Lawrence Okolie completely exposed Jake Paul in sparring as he landed a clean knockout with ease. He openly stated that Jake Paul is simply not ready for Anthony Joshua and lacks the skills and experience to survive against a true heavyweight champion.
You've got bigger head guards, bigger gloves, so stuff like speed and like athleticism plays more of a factor because...
David Haye highlights the massive difference between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. He points out that Jake Paul is nowhere near Joshua's level, only a fraction of his strength and skill. Standing side by side, the contrast is clear, and Anthony Joshua looks like an entirely different beast.
Jake Paul can come 15–20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. Look, you'll see what it looks like when they stand next to each other.
Joe Rogan explains why facing Anthony Joshua is pure danger for Jake Paul. Joshua is known for his devastating one-punch knockouts, and anyone stepping in the ring with him risks serious punishment. The fight is not just challenging, it is a lesson in power and precision.
Dangerous fight.
Yeah.
Because Joshua's going to try to make an example out of him, for sure.
And will.
I mean, Anthony Joshua is one of the biggest one-punch KO artists. What he did to Francis Ngannou, good lord.
Yes.
Anthony Joshua is sending a clear warning to Jake Paul that this is not a typical fight. He plans to land heavy punches and expose tricks Jake Paul has never encountered. Joshua is taking him to an entirely new level of boxing, testing his skill, defense, and heart in ways he has never experienced before. This will be a masterclass from a two-time world champion, and Jake Paul will struggle to keep up with the speed, power, and intelligence of Anthony Joshua in the ring.
I'm going to land heavy punches, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to expose him to certain tricks in boxing that he may not have seen yet, and I'm going to bring him to another school of boxing that I don't think he's been exposed to yet.
Johnny Nelson points out the enormous physical and skill advantage Anthony Joshua has over Jake Paul. All eyes will be on Joshua to deliver an absolute statement because the expectation is that he will completely dominate. Jake Paul is stepping into a ring where size, experience, and power are all against him, and the world expects Anthony Joshua to blast him out with authority and precision. The pressure is immense, but Joshua thrives under these conditions.
And Anthony Joshua is bigger than Jake Paul in our world. So there'll be more of a judgment on Anthony Joshua than there will be on Jake Paul, because Anthony Joshua is expected to get this boy blasted out of there.
Even Jake Paul admits the fear that comes with facing Anthony Joshua. Joshua has ended fights in seconds against some of the biggest names in boxing. His power, precision, and experience make him one of the most dangerous heavyweights alive. Jake Paul is now realizing that stepping into this ring is not just a challenge. It is a potential nightmare, and the scale of Joshua's talent and danger is something he may not be ready to handle.
Artists with fights that have literally ended in seconds. He fought legends: Klitschko, Usyk, Ruiz, Ngannou.
Biggest shot I have seen live.
I'm not gonna lie.
Eddie Hearn emphasizes that Anthony Joshua will not hold back against Jake Paul. This is a dangerous fight because Joshua does not play games and has no intention of taking it easy. He will go in fully focused, aiming to finish the fight quickly and decisively. Jake Paul is facing a heavyweight with lethal power, world-class experience, and a killer instinct that only champions like Anthony Joshua possess. The warning is clear. This will be an unforgiving test, and Joshua will dominate.
He's in for. It's a very dangerous night's work, and AJ will be, people say, oh, will he take it easy on it? AJ will be AJ. He don't mess around, he don't play with his food. He'll be going in there looking to take him out as soon as possible.
Anthony Joshua has always welcomed challenges and thrives on proving doubters wrong. Michael Bisping highlights that this fight is a chance for Joshua to silence critics who question his decisions or underestimate his ability. Jake Paul may be a crowd draw, but Anthony Joshua has the experience, skill, and power to dominate. Even if people try to downplay the victory, Joshua's performance in the ring will speak for itself. His dedication and focus will make this a showcase of world-class talent, proving once again why he remains a two-time heavyweight world champion and Olympic gold medalist.
You know, AJ's a massive, massive favourite. He's a natural heavyweight, two-time world champion, Olympic gold medalist. We've all seen him. He can punch, he can bang. You see what he's done to Ngannou. Jake Paul, I don't think he's had amateur experience. He's had 12 fights, I think, as a...
Dana White's reaction captures the danger and anticipation surrounding this fight. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul is a spectacle, but the risks for Jake Paul are enormous. White suggests that while the audience is excited, this is a mismatch fight where Joshua's experience, power, and skill will overshadow Paul. Everyone is tuning in to see what happens when a seasoned world-class heavyweight confronts a YouTube sensation, and the excitement is mixed with apprehension because Joshua could end the fight in moments if he chooses to. The hype is real, but the reality favors Joshua decisively.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
David Benavidez reminds everyone that Anthony Joshua is not just any fighter. He is a multiple-time world champion and Olympic gold medalist. Jake Paul's limited boxing experience puts him at an extreme disadvantage. History shows Joshua can dismantle inexperienced opponents with brutal efficiency. And anyone who steps in the ring without top-level skills is in for a painful lesson. This fight will highlight the gap between a true heavyweight champion and a celebrity boxer. Fans can expect Anthony Joshua to dominate, using his precision, power, and experience to expose every weakness Jake Paul brings into the ring.
Anthony Joshua is Anthony Joshua. You know, he's multiple-time champion, Olympic gold medalist. You know what I mean? The last time somebody stepped in the ring with him that didn't have that much boxing experience was Ngannou, and you've seen what happened to him.
Eddie Hearn warns that Jake Paul might overestimate his chances against Anthony Joshua. Fighting a top fighter like Joshua is completely different from facing other big names. Joshua's knockout power, timing, and skill can end fights instantly. The comparison shows that while other opponents may only teach lessons, Joshua has the ability to completely dominate and finish a fight decisively. Jake Paul is stepping into dangerous territory, and every second in the ring will test his skill and composure against a true, world-class heavyweight who has proven time and again that he is capable of destroying anyone who underestimates him.
Got that many people around him that I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks he's got a chance against Anthony Joshua. You know, Jake, I watched him, Jake. You'll knock him out. Yeah. It's like, you know, but, you know, there's a difference between fighting Gervonta Davis, even Canelo Alvarez, and then fighting AJ.
Carl Froch makes it brutally clear that this fight could be over in moments. Anthony Joshua's 1-2 punch remains lethal, and his precision and distance control make him almost untouchable for Jake Paul. Despite Joshua having seen better days, his skill and power are enough to dominate. Jake Paul cannot compete at this level, and his losses show he is no match for a world-class heavyweight. This is a demonstration fight for Anthony Joshua, who can expose every flaw, punish every mistake, and finish the contest quickly while showing why he is still considered a top heavyweight in the world.
What should happen? This is a one-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. he can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out.
Duke McKenzie is brutally honest about the mismatch in this fight. Anthony Joshua could make this the easiest fight of his career and earn a fortune while barely breaking a sweat. Jake Paul's stock will not rise no matter the outcome, but Joshua has the power and skill to seriously injure him if he's careless. The danger is real for Jake Paul, and this fight shows the difference between entertainment and world-class boxing. Joshua's ability to dominate, control, and punish any mistakes makes him a terrifying opponent for anyone stepping into the ring without proper experience.
It'll be the easiest fight of his career. If he wants to get 100 million and not even break sweat, you know, you take the fight. Is it going to enhance his stock as the world's '1 contender? Not at all, because nobody's going to take Jake Paul seriously. But on the other hand, should I don't even want to play devil's advocate. What if Joshua hurts this guy, seriously hurts this guy, and puts this guy in...
Dave Allen points out the massive physical disparity between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. Joshua is a true heavyweight with size, strength, and skill that Paul simply cannot match. Jake Paul is undersized and outmatched, and this difference will be a decisive factor in the ring. Joshua's experience and ability to punish mistakes mean that Paul faces a daunting challenge. Any misstep could result in serious consequences, and the fight is shaping up to be a brutal lesson in what separates a professional world-class heavyweight from a celebrity boxer. Joshua's dominance is almost guaranteed.
I'm not sure really, you know, Jake Paul's a cruiserweight, isn't he? Not even that. You know, he won't be anywhere near as big as partner of mine.
Tony Bellew highlights just how dangerous this fight is for Jake Paul. The mismatch is severe and Paul's health is at real risk. Anthony Joshua's power, technique, and experience create a situation where any mistake could be catastrophic. Bellew criticizes the decision to take the fight purely for money, emphasizing how reckless it is. Joshua is fully prepared and a top-tier heavyweight, while Paul's lack of real skill makes him extremely vulnerable. This fight is not just about winning or losing, but about survival, and Anthony Joshua has all the tools to completely dominate and teach a harsh lesson in boxing.
It's just a gross mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand his health is in jeopardy. So I'm not even entertaining it. I just think it's dangerous. And listen, I might have to work it, but it's just...
It's kind of ludicrous, isn't it, really?
It's insane. This boy is nuts. He's nuts. And I think he's putting his life before he's putting his life.
Tommy Fury's comment makes it clear that even other professional fighters see the vast gap between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. Joshua's skill, power, and dominance are so extreme that he could end the fight in under a minute. Paul is dangerously outclassed, and no circumstance would make the contest competitive. Joshua has faced elite opponents and proven time and again that he can deliver devastating knockouts. This is a fight where his experience, strength, and boxing IQ make him virtually unstoppable. Jake Paul is stepping into a nightmare scenario where Anthony Joshua will be fully in control.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go.
The stakes in this fight could not be higher for Jake Paul because he is stepping into the ring with a former two-time world champion and Olympic gold medalist in Anthony Joshua. Every punch, every move, and every mistake will be magnified against someone of Joshua's caliber and experience. If Anthony Joshua wins, it will reinforce his status as one of the elite heavyweights of this generation and prove that even high-profile YouTubers cannot compete with world-class boxing skills. If Jake Paul somehow shocks the world and pulls off an upset, it would be one of the most shocking moments in combat sports history. But the odds are overwhelmingly against him. Mentally, Joshua has the confidence, focus, and discipline built from years at the highest level. While Paul is stepping into unknown territory, fans should expect a dominant display from Anthony Joshua. But the drama of fight night always has surprises. Are you backing Anthony Joshua, or do you think Jake Paul can shock the world? Dr.